Hi everyone, welcome to the new video. In this one I'm gonna recommend you a fascinating book, and at the end of the video I'll also show you an example from this book, so we'll also learn a little bit of chess here. By the way, Michael Tal in the picture, he has nothing to do with the book I'm gonna recommend. He's here just to entertain you. So I make this video because it seems like many players who want to get better at chess avoid reading such books. They think they should read only some manuals called how to play a certain opening or how to attack. By the way, Michael Tal usually has something to do with those. This one, on the other hand, it's called Zurich International Chess Tournament 1953. And that doesn't sound like it's gonna be fun or instructive book, does it? Yeah, but let's see. It's a collection. It's a collection of games, and from that tournament, first of all, the tournament was exciting. Nowadays, we can often hear people complaining, like, why isn't Wesley So playing in the candidates? Where is Anish Giri, etc. In this tournament, they collected basically all the best players of that time, except for the world champion Mikhail Botvinnik. And the author of the book is one of the participants of the tournament, one of the best players of that time, David Bronstein, or Bernstein, that's how people called him in the USSR. So I won't tell you whether he won the tournament or not. So no spoilers, it will be more interesting to read the book. You can read this book as some sort of a blockbuster, the best chess players in the world gather in one place to battle each other in a doubled round robin tournament. So basically everyone played each other twice. And someone is playing inventive attacking chess, someone is playing calm academic style, and different ways of playing, different views for the game. Bronstein, Smyslov, Keres, Petrosyan, Naidov, Geller, Reshevsky, many other great players, but of course the book is not just plain games text or a historical review. The main advantage is the annotations. They are witty, crystal clear, and highly instructive. There are nearly no variations. That's a big plus in my opinion, so you won't be overwhelmed. There are just great wordy explanations, so the book is easy and fun to read, and you can go over it thoroughly. You can think what would you play in every position. You can guess the moves. That's very useful. One of the best things you can do. But even if you only read the annotations, that I believe is gonna do it too. So with this book, you can see lots of games. You see openings featured, middle games, and end games, so you'll get a better grasp at openings. You'll learn a lot of middle game plans and ideas, and of course improve your end game understanding. So now let's look at an example that I remember I was impressed with. So here's the position. It is Miguel Naidov playing against Tigran Petrosyan. Black to play, and here Petrosyan plays c5. And the author doesn't like this move, and this is what he says. He says that Black's main source of counterplay should go from the b file, and most likely White will be provoked to play b3 at some point. After that, you see, the pawn is fortified here, so hard to attack, so we will need to weaken it. So he says that Black's plan will be to push the pawn here till a4, and after the trade, you see the b3 pawn will be really weak. But he says that there is an issue with this. How are you supposed to get the pawn till a4 if White controls the square really well? He says there is no white squared bishop anymore that could do the job. So it says that the knight should do that, right? But Petrosyan just played c5 and took the c5 square out from the knight. So the knight cannot do that anymore. And he says that's why now Black is suffering and will not be able to play for that plan anymore. And the rest of the game shows that it was correct here. He also says that in one of the other games of the tournament, the same position was reached, and black went rook b4 here, then knight e5, and these moves provoked b3 and f4, after which the knight retreated back to c5, a5, a4, and black got a nice counterplay there. So you'll see that game too, and now let's stick to this one. Let's see what happened next. So e3, knight e6, queen c2, a5, bishop d2, knight d5, b3, queen d7, king h2. So far, just calm development, but you can see that black cannot really do much, right? Like white is still solid here, and black doesn't have much going on here. Just nothing to target. At this point, the move king h8 shows that black didn't really know what to do. Yeah, if you start pushing pawns, it only creates weaknesses in your side. This is what white is waiting for. And at the same time, white is playing, just improving their positions gradually and getting there. So in this position, the author says that white has a very nice plan. They can play knight a4, for example, then bishop c3 to trade off the dark squared bishop. Then they can opt for f4, bishop f3, and king g2. This is quite a nice idea on the king side. And then each pawn can go forward, supported by the rooks. And black just basically needs to wait and react to that. Yeah, so white has some plan. Black is not playing like some independent part here, right? It's just reacting to what white will do and just shuffling pieces around. So knight a4 was played indeed, then bishop c3. And in this position, yeah, probably Petrosyan felt that his position was just, how they call it, strategically lost. So he went for queen f5. And you may wonder, yeah, after rook d5, black just loses the pawn, so what is this? Such a strong player just blunders a pawn? But the author says that, of course, black saw that it would come. It's just that they wanted to try to play for some activity here and maybe play against this rook. Maybe something tactical will appear there, you know. Sometimes it's a better practical chance to, how they say, muddy the waters. So rook h5, knight g7. Yeah, white's position was just so good that black's plan failed, but still, yeah, it's instructive to follow how the best players approach the game, and here black resigned. So I think it's such a nice example here, and the book is full of such illustrations. You know, many people, when they read books with games, they just try to read the games that feature their openings. So you can do with this book the same thing as well. You can just watch the games from your openings, but of course keep in mind that you can learn from any game. Yeah, it's, if you play one opening, it doesn't mean you will not see the ideas from the other opening in your games as well. And here, yeah, it just shows how it's important to think long term, where you would place your pieces. And the c5 move, yeah, it looks like you complete the pawn chain. Like if you play the Sicilian dragon, you open the road for your queen to the queen side, and you control some central square, but chess tends to be deeper than that, and sometimes even strong players make mistakes. So I hope you enjoyed this video, learned something from it, and sorry that I didn't feature more Mikhail Tal in this one, but maybe I will do in some other video. Let me know in the comments below, and see you in the next videos. Thank you for watching.